If you have one of these or any kind of sawmill, you're going to have some way to sharpen your blades, or you're going to have to pay somebody to sharpen your blades. Hey, welcome back, guys. It's cold, it's windy, it's cloudy. I don't want to go outside today and play around with this stuff. I have some blades I have to sharpen up. I have a couple of 7 degrees and a 10-degree blade I have to sharpen up. So I'm at the homemade, home-built bandsaw blade sharpener. And I built this by myself. You know, I saw a bunch of guys on YouTube, or a handful of people, I should say, that actually built their own. And the only difficult part is the cam, and I'll show you around a little bit. I've shown this sharpener several times, but there's some new subscribers, so let's check it out again. This is a Foley chain sharpener with a CBN wheel. I have I can't remember the thickness on that wheel. Let me get my calipers. Okay, that looks good. $125,000. It's 1/8 inch CBN wheel. We're grinding a Ripper 37 7-degree pitch. But what I like to do first is I'm going to go around and I'll check the tooth, the set in these to see if they need to be set. So we're looking for, what you're looking for, I'm looking for anyhow, about 22 thousandths, 20 to 22 thousandths. Ooh, right on the money, 62 thousandths. 62 thousandths. So this blade doesn't need to be set. So what I have here is just that Foley chainsaw sharpener. I really like this Foley. It's belt driven, and you can go forward and back. It's got a reversing switch on it. I have this piece of wood here just to keep it up. It's a place to stop. The sharpener when I'm done. Park it right there. This is my set screw right here. That it sets the depth. A fine screw would be better, but I get away with this. This is the cam. It's just a piece of walnut. That's the hardest part of building this, is the cam. This is the push rod. All I have is a 1/4 push rod with a turnbuckle, and I get it set, and I use these nuts to lock it down. I have a power switch on and off. My original intentions with that power switch was this magnet. This magnet would ride around. Now I'll show you what I'm getting at. What I wanted to do is I wanted to automate this thing, right? So I could just walk away from it. So I'd put this magnet on here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I have that magnet here, so let's imagine this thing is going around and around, and we're going to go like this. And it shuts it off. That was my first intention. But what happens, along the way I've wrecked a few blades, the weld, wherever the weld is, it's never the same. And yes, I could, that's not the weld. Here's the weld right here. So let me check something here. The distance between is 873 thousandths. 7/8 pitch, 7/8. Here's the weld. 950 thousandths. So what will happen is this is timed for each one of these at 7/8. But all of a sudden you get to that and it doesn't push it far enough and you crush a tooth, you break a tooth. Or I was using regular grinding wheels, and you'd break a grinding wheel because it would be too much pressure on it. I literally was crushing grinding wheels. So that's why I went with that CBN wheel. I do get a little flex with it if I get a hang up. Another problem, I was hoping to be able to just walk away from it, but I can't. And it's partly due to the way I designed this. I need to change this, but it works. Sometimes it will hang up on a burr on a tooth, or if the tooth is out of set, and it will start pulling the blade we'll start pulling the blade back and forth because it'll be, as it comes back, see that? See what I did there? So it'll do that. It'll go back and forth like that. So we don't want that to happen. I just use my fingers now. I can tell if it goes back. So I stay attentive to every single cut. What else? Windshield wiper motor. All that is just a windshield wiper motor off a Chevy pickup truck. And I have a couple of things in this box. I have a DC 12 volt converter from 120 to 12 volt DC to run. Shut that off. I'm sorry. To run the windshield wiper motor. I have 120 for this. I have an outlet back here. Obviously, there's the 120 switch. So that 120 switch shuts the power off to the 12 volt and this all at the same time. So let's show you that. Running. This running. And if I hit that switch, it would shut everything down. And that was the idea with that magnet. All right, this setter works much like all other setters. This is my push mechanism. All right, so we're gonna push it forward. And I have this timed to hit 2 of these at one time. So what you do is you find, this one's pushing this way, so we need to find the proper, I see it. We're gonna go a little farther, right there. This one's pushing this way, this one's pushing this way. So both of those are going in the correct direction. So first thing I do is I lock it down. There's about 2 clamps, toggle clamps or whatever you're gonna call them. And you just, I'm not gonna push it, but you get the idea. Let me, I'll just get it off it a little bit. Well, stay right there. So let's say we've just done this one, boom. I unlock it, I back up, I'm leaning against it. Indexed. Unlock it, 1, 2, 3, back up. Oop, I keep leaning on that. Indexed, snap. Unlock it, hit it. Unlock it, hit it. So you see how that works. So I'll just go a little farther. Right, I'll be in the middle here. So you get a clamp, and not quite in the middle. All right, we're in the middle between the gullets, and I go like this, boom. So you get the idea. It works great. I have these little roller bearings. They're just ceramic, plastic, also, that go around and around and keep it all lined up. So you've heard enough of me flapping my gums. Let's see how it works. First thing I'm going to do is just double check and make sure we're at 7 degrees. These little electronic protractors are handy. Real nice for table saws. They have a magnet base on them, so you can stick it on anything you want. Obviously not the wood. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it right there. And I'm going to zero it. Okay, we're at 0. And then all I do, put it right on the blade. .3 82.99. We'll call that great. Snug it. I'm just gonna do it one more time, guys. We're pretty close to 0 there. 82.99. So that's 7 degrees there. So now I'm gonna start pushing. Just power on. And I'm gonna lower it slowly and see where we're at. I know I'm pretty close, so I'm going to start a little high. We're going to turn this on, and we're just going to slowly feed it into it. Turn that down. Turn this on. close, but I needed to follow the gullet a little bit more. So I don't want to lower it, so I'm going to move it that way because it is hitting the tooth just a little bit. So we'll just make it a little bit longer. I'm going to start snugging this up. Alright, so I'm really close, so I pulled it away from the tooth a little too far, so I'm shortening it just a little bit. Crack that open. That's really sharp. So now I'm going to mark it. Let's see. This will be right here. And I mark inside and outside. So I can see it coming. When it comes around, I can see it coming. And I like to mark, if I see the weld, and I did see the weld earlier, I'm going to mark the weld just so I don't miss it. We're going to turn the speed up now. We know everything's tuned in. I run it at about 52%, 53% of full speed. I'll back her up now and go over the ones I've already done. One, get it all in there. All right, guys, we're live action, and this is how fast I go. Keeping my eye out. I'm keeping my eye out for that weld. Okay, mentioned marking it, so I'm going to mark it again. We'll start it about there. When I see those come around, I know we're done. Alright, so this is going to be uninterrupted all the way around. See how long this takes? I keep one finger here. 2 fingers on the gullet. Hey guys, make sure you stick around to the end because I discussed a lot of topics regarding the sharpener and blades in general. So stick around and hope you enjoy the video. Feel free to skip ahead to about the 1850 mark. That's where I'm done sharpening this blade. If you're still here and haven't skipped ahead yet or left the video, what would be nice to have on here is some way to cool the blade. I try not to introduce too much heat to the blade with this. Try not to go too hard into it, but I'm sure it heats up a little bit. You can see the sparks flying. But some sort of mister or some just even maybe blowing air on it would be maybe ideal. There's the weld. Skip it. There we go. That's nice and sharp. Let me show you the profile. All right, let's see what we can see here. What do you think? I got a little pitch on there. Boy, look at that. Doesn't that look, it looks good. Looks like I pretty much got the full gullet. So you can see, I get the face, the full gullet, and then I do ride up. I like to ride up the, and knock the burr off if there's any burr. Right up the back of the point. I know some guys just hit this side and not the gullet, but you get these little micro fractures they claim down here. And I do break blades occasionally, so I try to make sure I clean that gullet out. And I like to take it all down together. Now this is probably the first sharpening on this blade, I'm guessing. I'm not 100% sure. So let's give you one more view of this. I just leave it right there, or I'll store it underneath that CNC there. So we're going to take that one off. Got to be careful, these are sharp. You do see the logo, so I'm going to mark it right now. Draw a circle around it. Then I push it through these bearings. Ooh, not through over here though. Got to get them lined up with all of them. There we go. A little different view now. I mark inside and outside. The reason I mark both sides is so I can see it when it's on the inside over there when it comes down on the outside. Bring her up to 53. Don't worry, I'm not going to show you the whole blade sharpening again. You know, when you get a mill, that is a big concern. How are you going to sharpen your blades? I don't have an unlimited supply of money. Let's just put it that way. But I'm not going to buy a new blade every single time I need a blade. Let's sharpen them. So that, when I bought the mill, that was something that gave me reservations about my mill. That was something that gave me a little anxiety. How am I going to sharpen these? You know, I tried the Dremel. I didn't get the good results. I know some guys get great results with it, they claim, and they do it right on the mill. I don't want to stop during the milling process and try to grind these, each one by hand. Ooh, those are sharp. If you saw my video last summer, I compared a brand new Ripper 37 to a sharpened Ripper 37 and see how much wood I can cut. Pretty much cut the same lumber, 3/4 inch lumber, and almost exactly to the T. I think I ended up with 350 board feet of 3/4 inch lumber, like 1x6 or 3/4 by 6s. So that was a lot of boards. So, and very equivalent logs. So check that video out. If I remember, I'll link that one to this to show you how well they did. They do just as well as a brand new blade. Now, setting them, once I set them, I only use them on boards for me or something that isn't crucial, because every now and then I'll get one that goes a little too deep or something along the lines of that. So that's it, guys. That's how this works. One of my subscribers, Mark, has sent me a video on how to do it. Oh, like that. Now I turned the blade inside out and smacked me on the knee. That's why I don't do it. Oh, now I got my blade Is that inside out? No, it's not inside out. So let's do it. Oh, man. Let's do it my way. The way I've been doing it. I still haven't figured that one out yet, but I'll get it one of these days, Mark. Don't give up on me. So I step on the center, and I just twist it. And when I do it, let me do that again. I keep the teeth away from me, so there's no chance of me getting bit by these teeth. These are also those cut-resistant gloves. So I just twist it. And there it is. Let's get another one. The first one we did. Okay, let's twist it. And down it goes. So just twist and push down. Give it a little roll. And that's it. Now, if I'm doing a 10 degree, I'll mark 10 degree on them. Otherwise, anything that's not marked is 7 degrees. Hope you liked the video, guys. Build yourself one. If you have any questions on it, what I did, or how I built it, leave a comment. The hardest part is the cam. Let me set this down. The hardest part is this cam right here. And I have one roughed in right now. I traced it. The easiest thing to do is get your cam set up. And these holes are roughly, I say roughly, the pitch of the blade, a 7/8 blade. So then you set this on the blade, you lower that, and you mark it. And you put a line there, and you say, okay, I'm an 1/8 inch high. So you take an 1/8 inch off. Then you roll the cam, or it'll be more round by then. You'll roll it. And what I did is I started at quarters. Then I went 90 degrees, lowered this, see how high I was above it, marked it, and cut that off. And then I went in between each one of those and just kept doing that until I started getting a shape. And just like using a French curve, I just blended it all together. And that's how I did it. In fact, you can still see maybe some old marks, black mark, some marker lines going around it. And it's not that hard. It's really not that hard. Don't be afraid of it. These are just these little ceramic or plastic bearings I found at this little local hardware store. Then I have these cap screws, socket cap screws that I use for height adjustments. And they're all the same height. I think that side looks like they're a little higher because of the blade setter over there. You know, you gotta push the proper part of the blade, or the point, I should say. Some unistrut. And that's it. I guess, I don't know if that's actually unistrut, but it's 90 with a bunch of holes in it. A bunch of 90s. Or a 90 degree angle iron with holes in it. Maybe they call it unistrut, I'm not 100% sure. I keep a magnet down here to pick up all the filings, just so they don't make a mess. What else? What else do I have on here? I guess that's about it. All right, guys. That's it. I don't have anything else to share with you on this. I'll do another one probably next summer on this for the new subscribers, but hey, build yourself bandsaw sharpener. These are fun. This is a fun build, and gives you a way to sharpen your blades. All right, guys. You have a great day. Take care. We'll see you in the garage, the mill, the forest next time.